2 days ago, President Barack Obama said this.
I don't think that we would consider them an ally, but we don't consider them an enemy.
Okay, so talking about Egypt, I just want to hear this again. Talking about Egypt, the president very clearly was asked, how do you perceive Egypt? Are they an ally?
I don't think that we would consider them an ally.
We would not consider.
But we don't consider them an enemy.
Okay. Yesterday, the White House was backtracking and spinning. Spokesperson Tommy Vitor released this statement. I think the folks are reading too much into this. Ally is a legal term of art. Oh. That depends on the definition of is. We don't have a mutual defense treaty with Egypt like we do our NATO allies. He went on to say Egypt is a long-standing and close partner of the United States, and we have built on that foundation by supporting Egypt's transition to democracy and working with the new government. May I ask a question? Is there anybody else just sick and tired of this president not being able to say what he means and means what he says? For a guy who's told us, I believe, over 1,000 times.
So let's be clear. Let me be absolutely clear. But let's be clear. So let's be clear. Now, let me be clear.
Boy.
Let me be absolutely clear.
Oh, would I love you to be clear just once. And I'm guessing some of our allies would like that as well. But our enemies sure are enjoying your clearness. I believe, Mr. President, you're not capable of being clear. Instead of clarity, you equivocate. You manipulate. We're told you're the smartest man who has ever walked the planet. You're the best communicator. You've told your own staff it's hard for you sometimes because you're so much better than they are at whatever it is they do. You're the finest speaker, and yet all we get is an endless stream of, well, I didn't say that. What I really said was...
The point I was making was not that my grandmother harbors any racial animosity. She doesn't.
The point we were simply making is that we don't want barbed wire running through Jerusalem.
Shovel-ready was not as shovel-ready as we expected.
This was an example where we had some poor phrasing in the speech.
Well, obviously I have regrets for my syntax.
The private sector is doing fine. It is absolutely clear that the economy is not doing fine. That's the reason I had the press conference.
The president misspoke.
Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that.
Those ads, taking my words about small business out of context, they're flat out wrong. Of course Americans build their own businesses.
Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we took you out of context, that we are not smart enough to understand what you're saying. Of course, I didn't mean what I said over and over in that speech and so many other speeches. It doesn't represent the entirety of everything I believe. I was simply saying is that the only point I was making is that I will, I will say anything, do anything, just to be reelected. I'll lie to your face, I'll backtrack. I will tell you what you didn't hear, and I will tell you what you did hear you didn't hear. This is who Barack Obama is. He has proven it over and over and over again. And yes, America, we can reelect him should we choose. We can send a man back into office who has been caught in one lie after another, who has never once taken responsibility for anything. We can reelect a man who says, I'm my brother's keeper, and then ignores his actual brother who lives in abject poverty. To the point where a conservative author who barely knows his brother gets a call from his brother and sends him $1,000 in Kenya to a hospital to save his child. And then have the president's brother say to that conservative author, you're like the only brother I have. Wow. If that's what you want, if this is what America believes is the best we can do, well, I don't really know exactly America anymore. But if that's what you want, you can have him back. Can we not see darkness anymore? Can we not see lies and deceptions anymore? Are we those people? I was driving down to work today. I'm in New York City, where I can't now legally buy any soda over 16 ounces. By the way, that will affect you, because New York has to have the little ponies now. They get a little pony Coke. I can't buy the bottle of 20 ounces. Soon, I won't be able to buy one. Well, that's what everybody sells. You go into any convenience store, it's a 20-ounce bottle. Congratulations. New York says that's illegal. Thank you, New York. You just make me... You're like the Board of Tourism, just sending out beacons all the time. Come to New York so we can piss you off. Now, I'm driving down the street. I'm thinking, how long before they go after the bottles? And I'm looking at the people, and I'm wondering, how long before you people wake up? How much more? And then I saw people for being people, not just stupid New Yorkers. And I saw a woman who was walking down, and she was carrying her purse. And she was smoking. And she was rushing to work. And I started to think, what is her life like? Where is she going? What does she do for a living? I saw another guy who was jogging, and he had tennis shoes and black socks. Who looked like he came right out of 1970. And I thought, who is your wife? How does she let you out of the door with black socks and shorts? He was like 45 years old. Who are you listening to? Does your wife even look at you anymore? Do your kids say, hey, Dad, stop with the black socks? I wondered what he did for a living. As I saw somebody just kind of meander down the street, I saw somebody else behind them. It was a guy, probably about 50 years old. He was a little pudgy, he was a little out of shape like me, and he was carrying two big, heavy boxes. I wondered, what's in the box? Where are you taking it? What do you do for a living? I noticed he had 2 cell phones. The reason why I bring this up is because I looked at those people and I thought, how much time do they have to do their own homework? Most of us are fighting for our lives just to get home, just to be with the kids. That guy probably doesn't have any other socks except black ones with the shorts because he probably wears a suit every day. And that's just kind of the world he lives in. He was probably going jogging because the doctor said, you got to get some exercise, man. And it's something new. He's probably fighting for his health, and his wife probably doesn't care about the socks. She probably just cares about having him alive. I don't care I know your father looks ridiculous in the socks. But he's doing something. He's trying to get into shape. Is it that we have been so duped, that we are so in debt, that we are living to work, not working to live? Let's give America the benefit of the doubt that they're just busy, tired, and misguided in their priorities. I don't know if nobody upstairs is going to take an excuse. If we can't see the difference between good and evil, if you can't see that a president continually lies to your face, if you can't see that a man who has not been to a briefing in 2 weeks has only gone in the last year to 38% of his briefings, that we had a warning 48 hours in advance. And this president didn't put out an alert to the embassies that the guy he assigned to Libya was flying into Libya after the warning had come in, and he didn't alert him. That while that ambassador was being sodomized on the street and killed, and our knock list was being taken, the president didn't even have the wherewithal, the care to stay awake to find out what was going to happen, how he could help, to brainstorm, to bring somebody in with an idea on what we should be doing. He decided to go to sleep. Oh my gosh, America. Character matters. The press is doing everything they can to show Mitt Romney. He's slipping in the polls. He's slipping in the polls. Let me tell you something. If he slips in the polls because of this, if America trusts Barack Obama, the guy who brought on the Arab Spring, which brought this all on, if that's really where they are, we are destined for failure. And Mitt Romney can't save us. Nobody can save us. If we can't see that truth, if we can't see a man of character and honor, if we can't see it, now listen, the press is doing their best to make sure that you just are discouraged, you just don't believe, that you don't know who Mitt Romney is. Romney is a guy I have strong disagreements with on some issues, like health care. But a man who didn't back away from the Massachusetts health care plan, didn't lie about it, and he didn't blame anybody else. I don't like it. But at least he didn't say, well, I don't. He said, yeah, I did it. It was the right thing for the state. Okay, I disagree with you, Mitt. He owned it. He took responsibility. He is a man who believes he is his brother's keeper, who time after time sacrifices a ton to help other people in times of need. Tonight, you're going to hear amazing stories, absolutely amazing stories that I'm telling you, you're going to feel like a slug afterwards, because I sure did. I realized, and I mean this sincerely, Mitt Romney is a better man than I am. And I don't think I'm that bad of a guy. He's a much better man.